Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Okay, Erev Tov, everybody. Tonight is the Yom HaShana, Yom Pekidat Shnata of Sultana Bat Chana, Zichronai Bracha, late wife of our dear Armand Toledano. So we're going to dedicate the shiur tonight in her memory. Following Kaddish, we'll do the Hashkava for the family, and then after Arvit, there's some treats to have and say some brachot in her memory. So, Sultana Bat Chana, Tinafsha Tzura B'Tzora Hayim. So we're continuing with Klal Hey Halacha Bet. Ve'ine adko, until this point, hitzanu meinyane dibur ha'isur harbe dvarim. We have presented many matters within the topic of forbidden speech. Shehem mishtanim lif'amim bedina lefi ha'inyan, for which the halacha varies depending on the circumstances. Ve'ata b'seifim alalu, in the upcoming laws, nedaber b'chelek hagadol shebechalakav. We are going to discuss the larger, more prevalent portion of Lashon Hara cases. Mipnei she'en shum tzad zechut ala mesaper. Because and these are forbidden because there's no justification for the speaker to talk about this. Ki enenu mechaven leshum to'elet. He has no intention of achieving anything constructive. Rak lesaper bignut chavero, only speaking negatively about his fellow Jew. Ve'amachshela bo yoter matzui. It's a very common pitfall. Shenichshalim bo kimat rov ha'olam, and almost everybody stumbles. Ve'rak mitzad chesron yediah. However, due to ignorance, lachen abakesh, I request that the reader does not be puzzled when I elaborate. And I lay out all the details here. I'm doing so that Hashem will help. That at least a portion of this terrible stumbling block will be removed. I'm going to say the following principle. One is not allowed to disparage someone on account of his shortcomings in his personal attributes. Whether it's regards to his intelligence, or his strength, osher, his wealth, or anything similar. And I will explain what this means. What do I mean, whether in intelligence? To tell people that so and so, he's just not smart. It goes without saying that if it's a lie, if you tell somebody that that guy he's not intelligent and it's untrue, or only if it's partially true, and he exaggerates it more than what it really is. This is an extremely grave sin. And more severe than ordinary Lashon Hara. And now this is called Motzi Shemra, or slander, because he belittles his fellow with fabrications. Let's say the guy's actually stupid. He is ignorant. He's got no brain cells. He is really, really out of there. And saying and speaking such is still forbidden. We've already established the Lashon Hara even applies if things are true. This matter, asserting that someone is lacking in whatever virtue, is categorized as Lashon Hara. The Rambam wrote in his commentary to Avot, Lashon Hara hu sipur ra'ot ha'adam u'mumav. Lashon Hara is the imparting of negative information about a person and his blemishes. Ulganoto be'ez etzad sheyeh min hagnut, or the disparagement of him in any manner. Va'afilu miyah meguneh chased, even if the guy is indeed deficient and he lacks things. Kemo she'arich sham, the Rambam elaborates there, de Lashon Hara nikra im hu emet ma shediber alav, that it's still called Lashon Hara even if what he said is true. וגם ממה שכתב בפרק ז' בהלכות דעות, The Rambam also says in the 7th chapter of Yichot Deot, Lashon Hara nikra davar shegorem im itvada ze la'anashim le'azik lo begufo b'mamono. That Lashon Hara applies to any information that, if related to people, can cause that person physical or financial harm, or le'atziro le'afchido, or emotional distress or fright. Nireh barur, it seems shechesron shelilat ha'ma'alot, that if someone's lacking in certain positive attributes, Lashon Hara gmura hu min Torah. This is clearly a Torah, biblical prohibition of Lashon Hara. She'im nitbonen therefore, if we think certainly and carefully about this, nimsa sheyuchal liyot sheyusubab al yedei zeh, we will see that this is hezek b'mamono o le'atzer. It will cause him financial harm. It will cause him distress. Let me elaborate on what the issue we are currently discussing. Dehainu, im amar alav she'enenu chacham. Specifically, if Reuven says to Shimon, or about Shimon, that he's unintelligent. En chisaron gadol mizal pi emet. In truth, there's no greater deficiency, there's no greater damaging report than asserting this. Ki im hu adayin eno nasui. Let's say Shimon is not married, and Reuven spread this truth, this fact about Shimon. Im yitparsem ze la'anashim. If this gets publicized, lo yimatzeh mi sheyitzir yitchaten imo. No one's going to want to marry Shimon. And if Shimon has an occupation, regardless of the type of work he's in, whether he has a trade or he's in education, no one's going to want to associate with him in business or in his endeavors or hire him as a teacher because people think that he is stupid. The scenario here says, you find out that your new neighbor attended a yeshiva for boys who have trouble learning. And therefore you tell another neighbor, I guess he's not very bright. This gets around the shul, and the new neighbor cannot find anyone willing to learn with him. Your assessment of the neighbor's intelligence caused him harm and is Lashon Hara. This is particularly applicable if the subject is a rabbi who gives halachic rulings. And Reuven says to the people, oh, this rabbi doesn't know anything. Even though this is Lashon Hara according to the Torah. For if the listeners believe this, and it becomes publicized, it will cause the rabbi financial loss. No one's going to want to come to the rabbi for halachic rulings or arbitrations. Back then, when you used to go to the rabbi for halachic ruling arbitration, you had to pay him. That was his parnasa. Today we get phone calls. No one thinks of a payment. Not only that, this sort of comment will bring even more devastating effects. Because of Reuven belittling the rabbi in front of his city, rabbi is going to probably be dismissed from his position and could be reduced chas v'shalom to poverty. The blood of that rabbi, the blood of the children of the rabbi, is on the head of the speaker of Reuven who disparaged him. Since through that Lashon Hara, Reuven made the rabbi's life miserable. Here the scenario says, Rabbi Bloom referred inaccurately to a scientific theory in his Shabbat speech. A doctor in the Kehillah told another highly educated congregant that only someone of limited intelligence could make that mistake. His opinion spread and the rabbi's authority was damaged. When its contract came up for renewal, the congregation decided to find someone more knowledgeable. The doctor's Lashon Hara caused a loss of respect for the rabbi and the Torah he represented and the loss of the rabbi's livelihood. More than that, with this comment, Reuven diminishes the honor of Torah and the Talmidei Chachamim. And he's referred to someone who disgraces a Torah scholar. That the rabbi said about this guy, he has no cure to his disorder. As a result of this comment, Torah observance will be severely weakened, chas v'shalom, because what's going to happen? If the rabbi starts rebuking and exhorting the people about a certain mitzvah that they're not following, no one's going to listen to him. No one's going to pay attention. Because it's become common knowledge to them because of these Lashon Hara speakers that this rabbi is unintelligent. And it all started with your comment because you didn't like something he said, or it could be that what he said something was wrong. Maybe it was wrong. I get it. People make mistakes, but your comment diminishes the status of the chacham, of the rabbi, in the eyes of everybody else, and it could have lasting implications, usually negative ones. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll continue next time.